You text her good morning, take her on dates, even buy her flowers, but she's still drifting away. Why? Because women don't care about what you do for them. They care about what you are. Stick around, because I'm about to show you the 5 things that truly make her stay. And number 3, most men never figure it out. It starts the same way for most men, a deep desire to give, to show love through action. You hold the door, pick up the tab, remember her favorite flower, send thoughtful texts. You imagine that by checking all the boxes, she'll see your effort and value you. After all, isn't that how it should work? In a just world, the one who gives the most love should be the one most loved, but reality has a different rhythm, and it often sounds like silence, distance, and confusion. She pulls away slowly at first. Texts go unanswered, laughter fades, warmth cools. The man wonders what went wrong. I gave her everything, he says. And he did, except the things she was actually looking for. You see, the truth, as timeless as it is uncomfortable, is this: women don't care about what you do for them nearly as much as they care about who you are to them. Not in terms of status or wealth, but in how you make them feel. Not through grand gestures, but through your presence, your energy, your steadiness. Women are intuitive, emotional creatures, wired not to tally actions like a ledger, but to feel their way through connection. The old world understood this better than the modern one. Back when values were inherited rather than debated. When men were trained to become providers not just of resources, but of certainty, clarity, and strength. In those days, a man's worth was measured not only by his work, but by his character. By whether or not others could count on him to stand still while the world shook. That's what women are drawn to, even now. In an age of endless convenience, of fast love and digital masks, what stands out most is the man who can't be swayed by moods or trends. A man who knows who he is and doesn't apologize for it. That man doesn't need to impress her. His presence alone is impressive. He doesn't perform, he embodies. She wants to feel that she's chosen by someone who has the strength to choose wisely. She wants to look at him and see not a project, not a puppy, but a pillar, solid, calm, whole. You might cook her dinner, you might write her a song, you might even cross oceans for her, and she may appreciate all of it. But if, in the quiet moments, she senses a lack of grounding in you, if your giving comes from insecurity, from hoping she'll validate your worth, then all that giving starts to feel like burden, not blessing. The deepest truth is this: a woman wants to rest in your energy. Not your money, not your hustle, not your achievements. She wants to relax in your masculine presence, to feel that she can stop spinning because you are still. That's the real security. That's the real gift. A woman may enjoy flowers, but what melts her heart is knowing that the man giving them isn't trying to buy affection. He's expressing something that doesn't need reciprocation to feel complete. A man like that gives from overflow, not from lack. He gives because he is already whole, not hoping she'll fill a void. Masculinity, in its most sacred form, is about being unshakable. It's not loud, it's not boastful, it's not about dominating others. It's the quiet power of being able to hold space for her fears, for her feelings, and yes, sometimes for her chaos, not by fixing, but by being the calm center in the storm. A woman wants to feel seen, but not idolized. She wants respect, not worship. When you pedestalize her, you lose her respect, because she doesn't want a servant. She wants a sovereign, someone who honors her without needing her to validate his worth, someone who chooses her, not chases her. That's a sacred distinction. This is where many good men lose their way. They believe the path to her heart is paved with effort. And while effort matters, it must come from the right source. If your effort is performative, if you're doing it to be chosen rather than because it's an honest reflection of your values, she will sense it, and it will repel more than it attracts. The man who wins her heart over time is the one who would act the same whether or not she was watching. His character isn't conditional. His integrity isn't transactional. He doesn't need applause to know he's doing the right thing. That kind of man becomes unforgettable. And let's not confuse stoicism with coldness. A truly masculine man feels deeply. He just doesn't leak. He expresses emotion with discipline, not drama. He understands that his presence is his gift, and that emotional control isn't suppression, but mastery. That's what allows him to be her rock, not her rival. In a world filled with noise, he becomes her silence. In a culture of endless options, he becomes her certainty. And that's when the gifts start to matter. When the flower isn't an offering, but a symbol. When the dinner isn't a bribe, but a celebration. Because by then she's already chosen him. Not for what he gives, but for how he moves. The truth is simple, but rarely spoken. Women want to feel safe. not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. That safety isn't built through doing, it's built through being, through consistency, through boundaries, through knowing when to speak and when to stay still. And it's not about being perfect, it's about being real, strong enough to admit when you're wrong, wise enough to lead without ego, grounded enough to stay when things get messy. That kind of man is rare, and rarity, as always, is irresistible. So if you find yourself giving endlessly and getting less in return, step back. Not to stop loving, but to ask where that love is coming from. Are you offering strength or seeking approval? Are you leading with confidence or performing from fear? She doesn't want perfection, she wants presence. She wants your truth more than your talents. She wants to feel that you are grounded in who you are so she can finally let go in who she is. Because at the end of the day, when the lights go out and the world quiets down, what she'll remember isn't the things you did. It's how you made her feel. And if you made her feel safe, seen, and cherished without losing yourself, then you've given her everything she was really looking for. That's what women want. Not all the things you can do for them, but the man you've become in the process. And that, above all else, is what makes her stay. She never forgets because it isn't about the moments you gave, it's about the presence you held, it's about the way you listened without rushing, the way you stood firm without controlling, the way your stillness made her feel safe in a world that too often feels like it's spinning out of control. And this feeling, this deep, almost sacred safety, is what anchors her. It's what separates you from the crowd. As years pass, as seasons shift and roles change, what remains consistent is her longing to feel that safety. Youth may desire thrills and flattery, but a woman in touch with her soul looks for something far rarer. A man who doesn't flinch in the face of real connection. One who doesn't need to be everything to her, just fully himself consistently. Because here's the truth, women aren't asking for perfection. They're asking for presence, for integrity, for depth. They want a man who can hold a moment, not escape from it. One who can handle silence without filling it with noise. One who can sit with discomfort without turning it into blame. That kind of strength is ancient. It's the strength of grandfathers who weathered storms, of fathers who worked with their hands, of men who gave their word like it was iron, and that kind of strength doesn't come from how many dates you plan or how clever your compliments are. It comes from the quiet work you do when no one is watching, the mornings you get up early to discipline your mind, the nights you reflect on your missteps instead of justifying them, the choices you make when shortcuts whisper their sweet lies. This is what a woman feels, even when she can't articulate it. She can sense when a man has walked through fire and come out forged, not broken. She can feel when a man is at peace with himself, not perfect, not without flaws, but no longer at war inside. And when she meets that kind of man, she leans in, not because he asked her to, but because she knows she won't need to carry both of their weights. Masculinity, real masculinity, is not about being dominant. It's about being responsible. It's about carrying weight with grace, about protecting without smothering, about offering structure without demanding submission. A masculine man doesn't need to prove himself through bravado. His strength is quiet, patient, and enduring, and that is what women trust. They trust the man who keeps his word, the man who can say no when needed, who won't be manipulated by tears or tempted by flattery, the man who holds the line because his soul has drawn it, not to control, but to protect, both himself and those around him. When you become that kind of man, you stop chasing love and start attracting it, not through games, not through tactics, but through embodiment. She sees how you treat yourself, and it tells her everything she needs to know about how you will treat her. Because love, at its root, is not a transaction. It's a reflection. If you treat yourself with dignity, with discipline, with devotion, she will mirror that back to you. And if she doesn't, if she mocks it or resists it, then she is not the one meant to walk beside you. A true partner is drawn to your growth, not threatened by it. So ask yourself, are you trying to impress her, or are you trying to become the man you were always meant to be? Because when you become him, when you live from your core instead of from your wounds, the right woman will recognize it. She won't need convincing. She'll simply feel it. And that's what makes a woman stay. Not your paycheck, not your charm, not your status, but your presence, your truth, your unshakable sense of self. She will stay when she feels that she can be soft without the fear of being hurt. When your strength allows her to put down her armor. When your clarity dissolves her confusion. When your steadiness invites her to be wild, free, and feminine. This is not about roles or rules. It's about polarity. When a man truly inhabits his masculine essence, not the caricature, but the core, it creates a space where the feminine can flourish, where she can relax, trust, and open. That is the foundation of deep love, not control, but complement, and the irony is, the more you step into this timeless version of masculinity, the less you have to do to be loved. You no longer need to prove, you simply are. And in being, you become irresistible to the kind of woman who sees with her heart, not just her eyes. Let others chase trends. Let them scroll endlessly, swipe left and right, seeking the thrill of the new. You become the kind of man who is worth staying for. The kind of man she feels lucky to stand beside. The kind of man who doesn't just give to women, but offers them something far rarer, the chance to feel deeply, safely, beautifully received, and maybe, just maybe, that's what she was looking for all along. So if you're ready to be that man, not perform it, not pretend it, but be it, then understand this. It begins in stillness, in discipline, in the quiet choice to live by values, not feelings, in the decision to root your identity in truth, not reaction. The path is not easy. It asks for sacrifices. It will demand your ego, your excuses, your illusions. But what you gain in return is not just her love, it's your own respect. And that is what makes a man unbreakable. When you walk through the world with self-respect, with boundaries drawn in conviction, with a presence forged in fire, she feels it. She may not understand it, but she will feel it. And she will lean into it, again and again, because it's rare, because it's real, because it's home. So stop asking what she wants. Ask instead, who am I becoming? And let the answer to that question, not your gifts, not your gestures, be the thing that captures her heart. Because that is the love that lasts, and that is the man she never forgets. At the heart of it all, she doesn't stay for what you give, she stays for who you are. Your presence, your truth, your quiet strength, that's what lingers. In a world chasing attention, be the man who commands respect. If this message spoke to something deep within you, give it a like, share it with a brother who needs to hear it, and don't forget to subscribe for more timeless wisdom on becoming the man you were born to be. This isn't just advice, it's a call to character. Until next time, stand firm, stay rooted, be the man.